I only came for the gasoline.
That's right. We watched Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, this week on The Movie Gap, the podcast that has you scream.
How have you not seen that? 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 Little darling, how have you not seen this? How have you not seen it?
Welcome to The Movie Gap. I am your host, Chase Austin. And as always, the tiny little feral child who throws boomerangs and flirts with all of the post-apocalyptic women, it's Bryce Perkins.
What's up? I'm going out. You down with APP? Wait, PAP? Yeah, you know me. Post-apocalyptic pussy. You know, like like OPP. That you guys remember that song from the '90s when we were like 3?
Wait, say what is it again then?
PAP.
PAP post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, you down with PAP? you know me. You down with PAP? Yeah, you know me. Australian.
You should do a parody of that with the Australian accent.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe that's our first sketch for This Is the Show. Oops, am I
More
I got some scoops.
information coming on.
Spoiler alert.
Let some scoops out.
Yeah, so you hear another voice in the background, or you see his face if you're watching us on YouTube. That is, of course, fan favorite and master of all of our logo needs, AP Stark.
What's up, bitches?
Yeah. And for
PAP. I heard.
PAP Stark.
Must steal that one.
Yeah, hell yeah.
PAP Stark.
That's right. For this episode.
Stark.
Yeah, hell
There
yeah.
you go.
Post-apocalyptic.
That's
pussy
me,
Stark.
bro.
There we go. For this episode.
Is that what AP stands for? Is apocalyptic pussy?
Yeah, so like, I'm apocalyptic.
You're apocalyptic pussy.
Right.
Oh, that's amazing. Man,
There's a shirt. There's a shirt for Stark.
She got that AP.
Hey, there's my podcast, guys. Yeah.
Apocalyptic pussy.
with Stark.
Oh, there you go, buddy. There we go. Man, we're fucking breaking down walls over here. You know?
Yeah.
Walls that happen to be just a bus that you drive. You know,
Yeah.
It's like
back and forth.
Reinforced.
you would think
steel.
that like they would find a way to make a gate that didn't require burning fuel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it's like, what?
Well, I think that it was just like they were on blocks. I don't know if they were running. The
Oh,
thing to move
okay.
it.
Yeah, that would make
you
way
could-
more sense.
Yeah, you could pop a hoe in neutral and just move.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And like you're not going to move a bus. Like, you know,
Right.
it takes a bunch of people or whatever.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah,
again,
that's
they could have used gas. I don't know.
Yeah,
You
who
would think like, but that to me, like that's like the subtitle of this movie. Mad Max waste a lot of gas.
knows? Right.
Like,
waste a
holy-
precious resource.
Yeah.
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 All right. Well, before we get into it,
Okay.
first and foremost, let's if you haven't checked out our website over at crossthestreamsmedia.com, go ahead and check us out along with all of the other shows that have joined the podcast network. You're probably familiar with the Dan Aykroyd podcast and the Charles Bronson or the Burt Reynolds Charles Bronson podcast that's on there, as well as 3 Beers and a Mic, and recent guest Clint, his podcast, The Four Dorksmen, and we got another new one, Secondary Heroes. So go give them a listen. Shout out. Check them out on crossthestreamsmedia.com. And, check out our site. Leave us some comments. There's actually an ability for you to leave a voicemail that we will be able to use and play on our podcast. So I don't know what you want, what you might leave, just a shout out to us, or, maybe your own reboot recast for an episode or something. We'll listen to it, and then it might get played on the show. So check that out.
We will literally put anything that you voicemail us
within reason
on the show. Anything.
Yeah, within
like
reason.
if you want to leave a Mel Gibson style voicemail,
That's what I was getting at.
tell us to smile and blow you. We'll put that
maybe
on
not. Maybe not that. Maybe not that. but yeah, so check that out. And then you can also rate and review us on that. Or on iTunes, there's a link for that, and we need that. So if you're listening and you haven't been gotten a chance to do that yet, please do. That'll help us out a lot. And all of our social media is up there too. So
Yes.
links to all that. So
And also quickly before we get into it, let us thank our sponsor, New Look Home Improvement, Home Remodeling, New Look Home Remodeling for everyone in the Houston area. For all your home remodeling needs, they supply they've supplied our equipment for the sound we're able to bring to you today.
Yep.
So we thank them, and be sure to go check them out. Google them, New Look Home Remodeling, if you're in the Houston area and you need anything done for your home. You had a dream of your home, your kitchen being better, New Look Home Remodeling. You had a dream of having a nice deck by your pool, New Look Home Remodeling. You have a dream of expanding the bathroom in your master bedroom, New Look Home Remodeling. Okay, just hit them up for anything you need. All right.
What
about
if you
a
need
dream?
an oil refinery in your backyard?
Yeah.
New Look Home Remodeling. They'll do that as well. Yeah.
What about a
Absolutely.
dream of like my house not splitting in half as that is happening? I have it covered up over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if they might come take a look at that.
Yeah, they could caulk the cracks. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be all right.
Yeah.
You know.
Put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah. Put a Band-Aid. Yeah.
That's my Band-Aid, the super bad thing.
Yeah, right.
Just cover it up. Out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
And then just stay out of the long room.
I mean, it would be. I'm just waiting for the episode where the house just caves in on us, and it'd be just the most epic ending to any podcast
us
ever.
falling, and, like, all the camera sees is just like just layers of raccoon feces that's above us. And,
yeah. Oh no.
Oh boy, that'll be the last
It's a
one.
living. Right?
But one way that you could also help us out is check out our Patreon. I believe it will be up and running by the time
Yes.
this comes out.
Yeah.
If not, it will be up soon. There's a couple of levels
Couple of tears.
to help. The main one being that we are going to start releasing bonus episodes, and we want to hear. So when you join, make sure that you comment on everything and let us know what you want out of that bonus episode. We have some ideas.
Mm-hmm.
We were thinking probably not doing like specific movie ones, but doing something else. But if movies is what y'all want to hear, we'll do that. We want it to be a bonus episode for the fans by the fans. So help us out there. And there's some fun stuff for you. And pretty soon we'll have some merch up. We're working on that right now. And that's
yes. Check us
that's
out.
all the house cleaning I have. What about?
There we go. Yeah, that
you
sounds
guys are
about
talking
right.
about the OnlyFans too. You got to talk about the
The OnlyFans. Yeah.
Well, that's going to be part of the entry tier of the Patreon. If you just pay, if you're just the first tier person, you get immediate links to our OnlyFans.
That you still have to pay for.
But you still have to pay for it. And then if you get the second
But
tier,
you can't get to the OnlyFans without
right,
being a
exactly,
Exactly.
without the link.
Secret
So
links.
right,
Yeah.
So go check that out. You don't want to miss those OnlyFans vids either.
And we're
Okay?
all heroes because we go gene to peen.
That's right. That's exactly right. Okay.
All right. Well, Stark, do you have anything that you want to share with us today before we get started? How have you been?
I've been pretty good. I mean, just I feel like every time you ask me this question, like I feel like I should start doing things so that way I'm like not always like, just like going to work, coming home.
Yeah. Well,
watch TV, bro. 90
there's
Day Fiance. What?
it's been a while. It feels like I think the last time we had you on was
Man, that's a
remember.
good question.
It was last year, definitely.
well, yeah, it was last year. So I was gonna say something big happened.
Wait, wasn't
to
it
you
for
in that time?
Wasn't it for fucking Indiana Jones Last Crusade?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't
No.
on that one. That was Ed.
You guys didn't
Ed-
invite me to that one. You replaced me with Scott. I
Yeah.
believe.
Well, Scott was the orchestrator of it, and Scott's like, I hate
But
Stark.
everybody but me.
Start a podcast beef.
I'm definitely not feeling hurt by that.
Podcast
Definitely not.
beef.
But,
Yeah.
I don't like Indiana Jones or anything. You guys are cool.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you didn't miss anything.
No, but I was gonna say that you have had something big happen to you since the last time you were on.
Oh yeah. I got a really bad case of crabs, and thankfully it is doing better. Yeah, I mean that's about as much. I mean, that's crazy what cream can do. I mean the wonders of cream.
Yeah.
You
So
know?
does your wife know about your crabs?
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. I also got married. I got married. I forgot about that.
I was setting you up, man. I was setting you up. Okay, so Haley, do not listen to this episode.
I forgot about that.
No, I got
remember the
married
crabs.
after, the love of my life. Everybody always hears about Haley, and she's awesome. You guys know her and love her. All you movie gap people know her and love her. Everybody knows her, and they all love her. So.
And Chase was the officiant?
Officiator.
He was.
Officiator?
He was.
Officiant, yeah.
Officiant.
For both of y'all's weddings.
That's true. Yeah. You're right. Actually, yeah.
It was live, Facebook Live for the first time ever. No one's ever Facebook Lived a wedding before. We were the first.
I kind of do feel that that's true, though. It was my first ever virtual attendance of a wedding. So
I invented it. I think it's going to catch on.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about making a business around it.
Yeah.
But Bryce was absent, but it's okay. It's okay,
no, I was not. I was there virtually watching.
Yeah.
Watching history take place.
I think I should
Facebook
make
Live.
I think I should make one of the Patreon tiers that I officiate somebody's wedding.
Dude, that is good. I mean, you are bestowed with the power by the
Or
Universal
you guys
Life
do it
Church
collectively as the movie gap with headphones, mics, laptops, all that.
The very first podcast wedding, live stream podcast wedding.
We could do that.
That's awesome.
I'd do that for $5 a month for someone to pay us $5
Well,
a
then just
month.
do it and then quit.
Yeah, right. Yeah, basically just $5 split between two. That's two. That's what is it? 150 or two? That's $250 a piece, baby.
Well, and then you take out Patreon's cut.
Yeah, right, yeah. So about $2.30, $2 a piece, man. I'm gonna hit that dollar menu at McDonald's. Boom. Give me a couple of
you guys will become
hot and
slaves to
spices.
wedding officiating.
Yeah.
That's literally what would happen. You just spend your lives officiating weddings for nothing.
It's like the people that do the cameos, they keep increasing their number because they're like, it's $25, which is great, but I don't have time to do that.
Yeah, right.
You're like, why is it $150 for this ex-bachelor star to do?
Right, yeah,
because he doesn't want to do them all day.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you're really going to pay that much, maybe we should start a Cameo page as well.
There you go.
Maybe we should get some fans first.
Yeah. Well, we have an OnlyFans.
It would just be me, Miguel, and Ed would be the only people doing it just to make y'all say stupid shit.
Yeah,
right.
To post on the internet.
Yeah,
that's about it.
All right. Well, it's been fun catching up, but we got to get into business. This movie.
All right, let's do this.
This movie is not going to talk about itself. We have to spread the word of this 1981 smash hit.
Cult classic.
Yeah, it's a cult classic. I would call it that for sure. I mean, it's it's a hit. It was a big movie, but I think it's even grown more in.
Yeah, right. I mean, especially since Fury Road and all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's got pop culture resonation throughout. Its presence is felt in the industry.
Right. Yeah.
I mean,
Rick and Morty, anybody?
Yeah.
Come on now.
Yeah. They had one
4 times.
And I know that James Cameron actually points to this as a lot of his inspiration for things he did in Terminator.
Interesting. Okay.
So, I mean, it's a well, we'll get into it. It's a great film.
Yeah.
It's a good one to talk about. So, it is Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior.
Right.
Depending on where you were when it was released. So, obviously, it's a sequel, but it is meant to be able to be seen as a first one since it came out in America as a wide release and the first one was not. So that's why there's multiple titles.
Yeah.
It's called The Road Warrior here because everybody wasn't going to go see a movie about Mad Max 2 and they're like, I don't know, Mad Max 1.
Right. Yeah. And it wasn't like now, with you youths, you don't know how lucky you are. You can just be like, oh, what's that? I'll stream it before I go to the theater and see the new one. No, you couldn't do that back then, especially with this movie.
And in 1981, it might not even have been on VHS.
Right, yeah. No, yeah, totally. Not at all. Yeah.
What did you have to do to see the first one?
You had to go see it in the theater.
Yeah, if you could find a theater that had it.
What if it was limited release like Mad Max 1?
Right, exactly. That's the thing.
And you just couldn't see
it. You'd be just fucked, bro.
Yeah, you'd be fucked.
Yeah.
So, it's The Road Warriors. So, Bryce.
Yeah.
Before we do anything, what did you know about this movie?
Okay.
Going in, you had not seen this.
That's correct.
Okay, and this has been on the list for a while.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So you had not seen this, and what did you know about it going in?
I knew my dad had it on DVD, and I knew growing up that it was one of his favorite movies because he told me, and I remember like asking him when I was like, 8 or 9 or something, and being like, "Oh, let's watch this," and he was like, let's wait a little
Maybe
bit.
a little
Let's
bit.
wait for that one." Good parents, and yeah. So after that, I just forgot about it and never asked again, and so here we are. But I knew that Mel Gibson was in it, and that was about it. And I knew that it was one of his earliest movies. That's really it. That is it.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really it.
Well, all right. You have 1 minute
Okay.
to give me a synopsis
Oh, boy.
to this film. Are you ready?
Easy enough.
You
All
ready?
right. Yes.
And go.
It's a dystopian future where wars have broken out over limited resources of gasoline in particular, and basically the entire, even though the world is, the world economies have all crashed, people have run the streets themselves in vicious gangs, and the ones that are willing to pillage and whatever and kill and stuff are the ones that survive. And you gotta have your shit souped up. You gotta have your fucking basically turn your car into a hot rod in order to survive, because that's the only way to get around. But in order to do that, you have to have gasoline, and gasoline is a fucking super finite resource at this time. And people kill each other over gasoline. And the man who has the gas is the man who has the power. That's it.
All right. You did it under the wire. You had
I had 8 seconds left.
Yeah, that was when I hit pause. You actually had about 9
Yeah.
or 10 seconds. So
And I mentioned no plot. I just
No,
mentioned
you
like
mentioned
what it
nothing.
was about. Yeah.
kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, well, let's get into it, Bryce.
Okay.
What do you got to say?
Well, the first thing I noticed right off the bat was that it said music composed by Brian May.
Yeah, he did the music
And
for the first one.
is
too.
that the Brian May of Queen?
I don't know. I kept reading that and not knowing.
Because that would be fucking really cool and interesting. He's one of my favorite guitarists ever. He's got that ultimate tone, because he built his own guitar.
Well, did it sound like Brian May?
Well, that's the thing. It
Music
sounded
to
like
you?
like a score. I don't know what his type of score would be, but they did write that song for Highlander. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm thinking maybe he did have it in him. Maybe he got the bug or something.
Well, it's not. This is a
completely different person,
Yeah,
and so
this is a-
therefore the whole conversation is fucking moot.
No, yeah, he is best. He's highly rated as one of the best film music composers in the history of Australian cinema.
Oh,
So it
okay.
is the same Brian. It's the same one.
No, it's
Sure.
not the same one.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Man, what his work in Queen.
Yeah, I assumed it wasn't, but I did want to double check on that. before I
Okay,
said it
well,
wasn't.
then,
So.
fuck this entire movie then. I was basing my entire fucking opinion on Brian May being the composer.
Well, it
Obviously, that's a joke. Okay, well, that's a little bit disappointing, but the score was cool, though. I mean, that shit with The Humongous. See, you
Humongous.
got me saying Lord Humongous. It's
Yeah.
not the correct title. He's titled as
The
The
Humongous,
Humongous.
yeah.
Okay. And greatest name ever for a bad guy. And that shit where, that like mini montage when they had the people tied up and he was like, oh, like the music was really cool during that. It was a cool little sequence there. But yeah, I mean, how can we talk about this movie without talking about one
Mel
particular
Gibson?
person? No, the Gyro Captain, because we'll get to Mel. Okay, we'll get to Mel. Mel, you can wait. All right, you can wait, Mel. All right, the Gyro Captain. The first time I saw him, I was like, dude, where have I fucking seen this guy before? Which fans of the show will know that's what I always do.
Yeah.
But this time I took it upon myself to look it up because it just was eating at me.
Okay.
And I realized that he was one of the poachers in Ace Ventura: When Nature Calls. He was the tall guy. Remember the shorter, bald guy?
Oh.
And then there was the tall, lanky guy with the bad teeth. That was him. And he had bad teeth. In this
So he
movie,
actually
too.
has bad teeth. Those are just actual.
I guess, dude.
I don't think there was a lot of.
It was really good makeup. If it,
I don't think there was a lot of like makeup effects on this movie.
Yeah, right.
So I noticed he was like the only one. I'm like the post-apocalyptic world, and there's only one guy that was like somehow scorned with his teeth on post-apocalypse,
Right.
where everyone else had like those bright. Even the little feral kid had like white teeth.
Right. Yeah. And then you had freaking, the fucking the guy, the leader of the compound or whatever, looking like, you know, the poster boy for the Aryan race and shit. You know,
Papagallo.
yeah, Papagallo. Yeah, and it's just like it just looked. I don't know. I was
So
glad
clean
he
for
died.
post-apocalypse, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
He looked like
his
I
character
don't
was
remember the
annoying.
name. I don't know the guy's name,
That's
but he
not
looked like
fair.
the guy from Logan's Run,
Oh, I haven't seen that.
or you know him. He was Basil in the Austin Powers movies.
Mm.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah, I mean he was
Oh,
older, in
Australian
when he was
Basil?
younger.
Yeah. 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 No, I mean his character was cool though, but it just his like super blonde hair. I guess, you know, they were playing on some archetypes too, like, you know, the people in the compound were all wearing white clothes for the most
Yeah,
part.
I had
and
the
then,
same thing noted.
Yeah.
The black on the outside, white on the inside.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
Like the gates of Eden.
and they you know
Like an Oreo.
they were
Black on the outside, white on the inside.
They were afraid of Max when he first came because he's wearing black. and
Yeah,
that's what the
right.
bad guys wear.
Right.
I mean, this whole movie is a Western. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah,
It's-
totally. I was definitely getting big time Man with No Name vibes a little
Yeah.
bit, you know.
Well, George Miller, much like, you know, Lucas and everybody else, like he was highly influenced by Akira Kurosawa,
Oh, there you go.
Westerns, and Joseph Campbell's The Hero with a Thousand Faces.
Oh, okay. So
So-
he was playing on archetypes.
Yeah,
then,
he was
big
playing
time.
on archetypes. He was playing on the Western.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
that's
lone
why
wolf guy.
that's why he's got the little kid in there, because he it was like his nod to the movie Shane.
Yeah.
And you know, and it is a Western. Like it's
Totally.
just I don't know what Australia's got to be west of something.
Right.
So
Yeah.
you know,
West of everything.
Well, what can you really do?
Well, east
I mean,
of
it's
us.
desert land.
Yeah,
right? It's
I mean-
like
Right.
that is the quintessential Western. But I will say, like, I did love the how simplistic the storyline was, because usually I'm like sitting there going, oh man, the storyline's, you know, not complex enough to where like you really feel like somebody really thought about it. But I don't know. I think the simplicity of it, I actually really enjoyed it. I liked the fact that it was so simple, saying guy need gas, guy go try get gas.
yeah.
You know, get in between these really inefficient people trying to attack this small compound
Well, even
that has
Dude.
like 3 weapons.
Even
That
that-
should have been
and I
my
love that-
synopsis.
love
Guy
that-
need gas.
I love that
Guy
first
try
scene.
go get gas.
And I love in that
It's
first
perfect.
scene when like he's like, hold on, before we fight, let
Yeah.
me get somebody to catch this gasoline so it doesn't leak.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
To the point where he like uses his like bandana to like
yeah,
get
to
some
soak
of
shit
it
up. Yeah, that's how precious it was.
Yeah.
You
That
need-
scene is incredible though, because
awesome.
that, to me, that also summed up the film, because the guy with the mohawk pulls an arrow out of his arm with pleasure.
Yeah,
Pleasure,
right.
as a gimp is behind him,
Yeah.
tied to his back on a motorcycle covered in leather in the desert.
Right.
That
Yeah.
just to me is the picture of what you're watching.
I mean,
Right.
the
I am
whole-
about to watch.
The whole costume, it's just like leather and S&M and sports equipment. Like that's all.
The desert? Who thought leather was a good idea in
know.
the desert?
Dude, not to mention
I was-
assless.
Yeah, and I was watching this.
Yeah,
I was watching the movie.
Dude, you'd
and it-
think you'd want to cover your ass.
like we got about 10 minutes in, and I just like yelled at my wife. She was in the other room because she was not about to watch this movie. She's like, "That is not for me."
Yeah.
And I
But
just
she loves
yelled.
Mel Gibson, though.
I just yelled. I go, "Hey, baby, what's the climate like in Australia? Is it humid?" Because I was like, you know, it's hot, but like, is it humid? And then she's like, no, I don't think it is. And then a few minutes later, she like yelled back. She goes, no, it is.
Yeah.
Just- I was
Hot
like,
as
leather
fuck.
seems like a bad choice.
Yeah. Leather.
But
yeah.
you know, it'll keep out all the dust and the dirt and
Sure.
Yeah, but they would have clearly
not-
died of heat exhaustion way before anything
yeah.
else.
Well, but it also is cold a lot of the time too, like and at night. And apparently, it was like real cold on the shoot when they were doing this.
Oh,
To
really?
the point where what's his name, Wes, you know, he's got
Yeah.
the assless chaps.
Yeah.
And whenever his ass would turn purple, they would be like, all right, everybody in the bus, get him warmed
Yeah,
up.
right. Yeah.
Because it's too cold out. His ass
Yeah.
is turning purple.
Yeah.
That's their gauge, his
funny.
ass.
Yeah,
That's
and that
fantastic.
Mel Gibson called him the hold on, I have it written down because it was funny. His barometer bum.
Barometer
He called him
bum.
barometer bum
Yeah.
because if his butt was purple, it was too
Right.
cold.
That's awesome.
So
I also like too, like the intro, like one thing I was thinking is I wish all sequels had like some whispery Australian man explaining
Yeah.
what happened in the first
Yeah.
movie. To you.
scenes
For like-
from last week. Yeah.
Dude,
yeah.
I
was
know,
like,
man.
this is
It
how
was
every sequel should be.
it was so weird, but it was great because it made it so that you didn't even have to watch that first movie. It was just such a perfect like
Which was
this is what happened.
And it was so
You don't
perfect.
need to-
It was so perfect for this podcast because this is the one I wanted to do.
Right, I know.
You know?
So we didn't have to sit through that shit.
Yeah, I mean the first one's good. Like it's got its
moments,
and it's well done and everything. But this movie is just
head and shoulders above.
I mean this is an action staple. You know.
Yeah, I could imagine, man. But yeah, it kind of speaking of the whispery man, the narrator and all that, and then the reveal that it was the kid, you know,
The feral kid, yeah.
This movie did a really good job of like, you know, the surprises and stuff that happened were all like, there was nothing new about them, but it did a really good job of kind of, you know, hiding the reveal of each step. Like normally, I don't know if that's like the editor or maybe the director or just how the story was written, but something about it was just very good about, you know, masking the surprises where, you know, when they would happen, it was like, oh, how the fuck did I not see that coming? The
director, George Miller, he wrote this with Terry Hayes and Brian Hannett, and they all,
I know them.
So like they did it on purpose, you know. So
well, of course,
it was the writing, it was the editing, it was the directing.
Yeah, but it's just like normally though, it's normally when in the writing process, you know, those things are, you know, very easy to pick up on for the viewer, right?
Well, and especially in something with such, like as Stark mentioned, like such a thin plot.
Yeah,
you would feel like it would be ham-fisted,
right? Yeah, like
this
that's the
kid's
thing.
Gonna be the one,
right,
know,
and it wasn't at all.
Or even the reveal of the truck being full of dirt.
Yes,
like the only real like hint of it is when the Papagaio is like talking about what they're doing, and he's like holding an hourglass and watching the sand drop through. Like, that's your only visual cue. Like,
I didn't even. Yeah, right, dude.
Yeah, it takes a while,
dude. Yeah,
I remember thinking the whole time too. I was like sitting there going, and that's what's so weird. Like you said about the reveals part, Bryce, is that the whole time I was like, man, why are they pulling the tanker this way? All the people are going that way. Like, if it were me, I would have made it a decoy, man. I would have made it a decoy.
and then
I didn't guess, like, oh, it's a decoy.
And it made sense too, because he was like, they're not going to follow you. They're going to follow the tanker. They're like, well, but you need the tanker.
Right. Yeah, I know. I didn't even think about that until like right up when he was about to crash. I was like, well, there goes the fucking gas. Yeah. Why didn't they fucking? And it was like, oh, and then you see the sand and you're like, oh, I think what it is that they just did a really good job of just not saying anything until it happened.
They didn't reveal their cards.
At all. And like what you were saying about you know, it most of the time it's very ham-fisted. I mean, they just did such a good job of just playing it straight.
Yeah, and
possible.
you don't like they did. It's
not
also,
ham-fisting.
You also don't feel cheated.
Yeah,
like you don't feel like, well, that doesn't make sense. Like, where did that come from?
Right. You feel, if anything, it's like more rewarding because you're like, oh, of course, yes, I'm with you, yes, you know. And then it turns out that the kid was the narrator, and that was just like, oh, normally I would be like, blow me,
I know,
smile and blow me.
See,
you know?
I'm surprised you liked it because like the whole time I was like, as soon as the kid comes on, well, I mean I knew, but like watching it this time through, I watched it with my idea of Bryce's eyes, which is what I do a lot when I watch them. Yeah. I'm like, okay, he's gonna hate this.
Right.
So like that kid comes on, I was like, oh, he's gonna hate that fucking kid.
No.
And then I also, especially when like, you know, he's the guy at the beginning.
Normally,
that seems like something Bryce is gonna hate.
Yeah, normally it would, but it just did such a good job of, like you said it best, Chase. It's not ham-fisted at all. They just play it. They play it straight, and then when it's time to do the reveal, they do the reveal, and that's it. And the other thing is that the kid wasn't. They weren't trying to make him like a cute kid or anything. Yeah. He was just this like, I mean, he's fucking throwing a razor sharp boomerang and chopping fucking, he threw a boomerang into a dude's head.
Yeah.
Like that's fucking awesome.
His introduction, he's cutting off a guy's fingers and murdering him.
Yeah, dude, it's like dude.
And
if you're gonna have a kid in a movie, have the kid do that. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to see the Ewoks doing. Like it's cool they had the fucking, you know, the wood, you know, taking down the AT-ATs and all that shit, but or the chicken walkers, but fucking like, how much cooler would it have been if like an Ewok like fucking was chopping it,
just like gnashing,
gnashing his teeth into a stormtrooper or some shit and just fucking blood everywhere? Would have been way fucking cooler.
Might I posit this though? To me, I felt like whenever I was watching it, it's the Australianness of it all. Like to me, it's like there's something that is, I guess, with the accents and the way that they talk, and I guess their nature, it seems a little alien. And so, like, as you're watching it, to me, it's like it gives that extra layer of like, I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe it gave me the sense of unpredictability. And I know it sounds really weird, but I just kept telling like Haley while I was watching, I was like, I just love how everything is so Australian, because like to me it pulls me out of my comfort zone. I'm not like sitting here going, oh, this is going to happen, because again, it just seems so like a little alien, not completely alien, but just a little bit.
And I get what you're saying. I didn't really think about that, but you're absolutely right. That is probably what gives it that effect, like that believability of this post-apocalyptic civilization, because it is so different,
right?
Yeah.
With just like the little things like that,
right?
I mean, this movie has been called Ozploitation. You know, it's the Australian exploitation. You know,
I could see that. Yeah, totally.
But
Ozploitation.
Yeah, and they yeah, no, I never thought about that. You're very right. I like that.
Yeah,
but, know,
it's like it seems like America, but something is just off.
Well, and I love the whole to go back to like the Western feel of it too, with the ending and the kid saying like, we never saw him again. I don't know what happened. Like, this is just one little story in the mythos that is the Road Warrior, that is Mad Max. You know, like the first movie is kind of his setup, and that's more about him. Now this is his career after that, of just like saving little civilizations just to get by,
right?
Which is exactly what goes on in, you know, the Man with No Name trilogy and in Yojimbo and
absolutely,
Shane, all those things.
Right. Yeah. I'm sorry, I just got distracted by a text message, but yeah, I agree with everything you just said, though.
Good.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, Bryce.
Yeah.
Would you mind recapping, like maybe just the last few sentences?
You know, it's just like how they did in Yojimbo and Fistful of Dollars. It's just like that with the kid.
All right, moving on. Let's go back to your notes.
I'm sorry. I will watch it, though.
I will watch it.
All right. Okay. Well, let's talk about Mel Gibson.
All right.
I mean, it's time, right?
We've
everyone's been waiting
We've done
for.
a couple of Mel Gibson movies before.
We've done Lethal Weapon. Oh, and The Patriot. Yeah. Both of which he had to have American accents, one of which he failed spectacularly at.
But like, you don't care.
Right. And then this one, he didn't have to have an American accent, so it worked perfectly.
He also had
Australian Mel Gibson's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had 16 lines, and two of them were
okay.
Yeah, and two of them were, I only came for the gasoline.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I was gonna say that was actually one of my notes. I was extremely surprised by how little the character even talks in this movie. Yeah. Very, very Man with No Name vibes on that shit. You know, just he's the loner. He doesn't need to say much. Just, you know, what's the fucking saying? Carry a big stick or something.
Yeah, speak softly but carry a big stick.
Right. Just like totally just the embodiment of that. And yeah, I thought that there would just be a lot more of him talking and shit, but there really wasn't at all. And you know what? He didn't need to, because he was. We were talking about it before we started. The dude was perfectly cast. It's like, what did you say, Chase? You were like, you see him and you're like, yep. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. Don't even need
like,
you to talk, dude. You are Mad Max. You know what I mean? Like, just fucking.
Yeah, and like, so he, you know, obviously he had done the first one, but this movie takes place 5 years after the first one, and then the third one, Thunderdome, takes place 15 years after this one.
Mm-hmm.
And but it was so like the world has become more of a post-apocalyptic, you know, after the nuclear thing.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's further deteriorated from even the first one. And so it was Mel Gibson's idea to make himself look all fucked up as much as he did. So like he cut his own hair and his own eyebrows before the filming. Like
he cut his eyebrows.
Yeah.
Was he missing his eyebrows?
He got like a shave in his eyebrows or whatever.
Okay. Yeah.
Like he did all his own hairstyle, so it would look like a guy who's bombing around in the desert.
Yeah, dude, his hair was so tight, man. And I already told you about this, but that blonde streak, dude, that's like fucking ahead of its time. Awesome. That shit fucking looks so baller.
Yeah, it also looks baller because it's a 25-year-old Mel Gibson.
Yeah, that's
And, like,
true.
What
I mean,
isn't going to look
he
baller?
looks baller. Yeah, that's true. He could have been he could have been wearing a fucking Richard Simmons wig or some shit.
Yeah.
It still would have looked awesome.
He could have been living in his mom's basement. Everybody's like, this is badass. This guy lives in his mom's basement. Fucking awesome.
That dude is way ahead of his
see
time.
Richard Simmons wig, Mel Gibson. 25. Please, let's do that.
Somebody needs to deep fake it, but like instead of the face, they just put Richard Simmons' hair.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Like some sort of Snapchat filter. Or
He
whatever.
kind of had Richard Simmons' hair in the first Lethal Weapon. I mean, a little bit.
Well, yeah,
with
mullet.
it being like longer and curly and curly-ish or
puffier.
whatever.
Yeah.
It was close, but
I
not.
mean, he basically in Lethal Weapon, he basically had the feral kid's hair.
Yeah, right. Yeah, totally.
That little kid had some fucking
That
heather.
little kid, I thought they were gonna say that he grew up to be Joe Dirt. Because that's what he kind of looked like, the Australian Joe Dirt.
The Australian Joe Dirt.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it would make sense though because they're obsessed with cars. You know, he would be obsessed with cars like Joe Dirt was. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's another thing, man. Where you guys, I'm usually not. I mean, I like cars as much as the next, red-blooded male.
Yeah,
you
I don't know shit about cars.
But like, I'm not like car obsessed or anything like that. I appreciate it and everything. But I mean, just like, I think, like you don't even have to have an appreciation for cars to appreciate the badass fucking horsepower that was in this movie.
yeah,
man.
I mean, okay, so there was over 80 custom vehicles,
Man.
and more than half of them get demolished for the
Yeah.
shooting
Oh
of this
my
movie.
god, I can't believe they destroyed that fucking Mad Max's car, dude. That car is fucking
Yeah,
awesome.
I felt that too, man. I was like, no.
No, I know.
Beauty.
Dude, that shit was so badass with the tailpipes coming out, and then
Yeah.
and then just showing showing the actual engine working when they would flip the switches and what it does to the engine, like hitting the nitrous and
Yeah.
shit, and then of course they did really weird speed up shots. Those kind of maybe my only complaint is those weird speed up
I agree
shots.
with that, and it really stands out now. And I don't like. It makes me think I wonder if it stood out then,
Right.
But like the reasoning behind that is obviously it needed to look really really fast.
Yeah.
But they're on this like desert terrain, so there's potholes everywhere. So
Yeah.
like they couldn't go fast enough.
Yeah, right.
And George Miller was like, we got to speed it up to make
Right.
it. Otherwise, it looks dumb because
Yeah.
they're going not fast
I
at all.
wonder if
They don't do it on the road. Like it's always in the desert. when
Yeah,
they're, like peeling out or something.
right.
Yeah.
But I wonder if they would have just let it be if because the movie was good or is good and I was enjoying myself. I wonder if people's like imaginations and suspense of disbelief would have been able to do that work for him instead of him actually having to speed it up. You know what I mean?
Maybe. I mean, I just don't know. Like it depends on how slow they actually had to
Sure,
go. You know what I
right.
mean?
I
I mean,
guess,
if it was like carefully pulling out a golf cart. Like,
well, obviously,
like it would have been. If they were going like not fast, like if it was in
that's
neutral,
true.
basically.
Yeah, right.
It would have looked
right.
real bad. So.
But yeah.
Well, I will say though, it like to me the words that came to mind when I was watching the I guess the second half, which is the car chase almost. I feel like S&M Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. Even the vehicles
totally.
had very Mario Kart looking designs to them.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, exactly.
Throwing dead bodies instead of banana peels.
Right.
And like all
Shooting
of the
arrows.
costuming is very like 80s and 90s. It reminds me of like 80s and 90s professional wrestling. Like, well, wasn't there a tag team like called the Road Warriors or something? They had the shoulder pads with
there was like like the Road Dogs or some shit like
something
that. Yeah, and
they have the spikes on their shoulder pads, the football pads.
Yeah, wasn't that Scott Steiner, the Steiner Bros?
Was it the Steiner Brothers?
When they first started or something?
Yeah.
And
I can see it in my
before they
mind's
split
eye.
up, it was Scott Steiner and
I forget what the other guy.
the other guy. Yeah,
other
I
brother
forget
was.
too.
But but there is a lot of like just that like all of the Marauders that they're not actually mentioned that on there, but that's what they're called. They have this very like aggressively masculine aesthetic that is like there's the homosexual undertones of a lot of it, but it doesn't feel like it
Sure.
feels,
I mean, Wes was homosexual though.
well, according to so George Miller told everybody to come up with their own backstory or whatever.
Okay.
And Golden Boy in the script was actually a girl. And it was supposed to be that Wes had found this child, basically. When he was younger too.
Yeah.
But he found this child and raised it. And that was his like pet, almost like his child and pet. But like it came off very not that, which is also kind of a neat, comment on like gender roles and everything not being an issue or even a thing in post-apocalyptic.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously
it was pretty progressive,
Yeah, because like that warrior...
these are the bad guys too,
Well, and then the warrior chick was like a badass and she had like the big old scar, like
totally.
The more or less hot girl in the movie.
Right.
And then there was the other girl, the guy's Papadello's daughter or whatever, who was just like... like a high school girl. She didn't seem dirty or anything.
Right.
Like, what is she doing?
Right, yeah.
Why does she have the pony? Like, she was very 80s.
She looked like she was about to go shoot a scene in Saved by the Bell. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Captain Gyro was really into her, too.
Yeah. I know. I miss clean girls. It's like, okay, they're all the progressive stuff goes out the window with you being like manicured nails.
Always gotta have one.
Yeah, right. Way to go, Gyro Captain.
I have a question though. This is something I kind of brought up at the beginning, but that's the whole thing I was gathering too is, for a bunch of people that are trying so hard to get gasoline, they do a lot of using it up for useless reasons. Like you see like the motorcycles going in circles in celebration and things like that.
Yeah.
Like what are these guys thinking? Like if it's so precious, you think they would barely be on their vehicles at all?
Well, let alone using it to go and terrorize people and shit like that.
Well, they're terrorizing to get the new one.
To get it, and it's like, well, if they would, just be more resourceful, they wouldn't have to terrorize.
Well, but that's
people.
Also why they. That's also why they want it. This is what they do.
Right,
they go and terrorize.
Right.
Like they would be terrorizing if there was a lot of gas.
Right.
It's just.
And I guess with their mindset, with Humongous's mindset, no one leaves alive. And. So they don't really care. I mean, that's all they're going to do anyway. They're just going to do that anyway.
I get that for sure. But that also that little place, it's, I'm sorry, but like the whole time I'm sitting there watching, especially whenever you first Max and Captain Gyro are there, which by the way, with the world's best acting dog, that dog was a fantastic actor.
Oh man.
That dog was I'll talk about the dog later. Yeah.
Okay.
Continue your thought.
He was a fantastic actor, but when they're sitting there, like, scoping it out, watching it, and he's like, "Oh, I know this place that has tons of gas and stuff." And you're watching it, and there are tons of these vehicles compared to this little tiny compound, and they've only got a flamethrower and one, or it was like two guys maybe throwing like fireballs, and then somebody with like a big arrow gun, but it's not protected on the back side at all. It's just at the part where the bus is at.
Yeah.
Why aren't they? They could have easily taken over that place. Easily.
I think it was supposed to be.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I think it in like their mindset, because of where they were shooting, it was supposed to be kind of sort of like protected by the mountains behind it or whatever. But like there was room to just walk around. Yeah. But to get back to the dog, like that. That's one of the references is I think it was Fallout 5 or whatever, where you have that dog.
Fallout 4.
Fallout 4. Yeah. The red bandana, and like so the dog's name is Dog. That pops up a lot.
Right.
I think that's in Walking Dead right now.
Oh, really?
But so that dog, they needed one obviously for this shoot, and they went to the pound to find a dog. And they saw that one. It was scheduled to be put down that day.
Wow.
And that dog was like...
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Talk about a reverse of fortune.
Yeah, and that dog was in like the kennel, and he was playing with this rock like a toy, like trying to get their attention. And they're like, that dog's got it.
What? Are you serious?
It did, though. It had the impact.
That's amazing.
So they took it, and they trained it the way that they do or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, all for the shoot. I don't think it was like a professional trainer.
Yeah,
or whatever.
right.
And it got like, it was super friendly, and it really liked the sound department or whatever. So like they were able to like film it like play biting and then just put snarls over it.
Yeah.
So it seemed really aggressive and like that's all that stuff. And then the guy from the sound department took it home and lived out the rest of his life.
Oh, wow. That is such a great story. Yeah. That's good because I as soon as you see the dog, you're like, that dog's gonna
dead.
die. Yeah. Well, no, you knew that
in the movie,
movie. That was one of the things that I was able to predict.
Yeah,
but there was this one part where like Captain Gyro was like, he was like all like chained up, and Max was like eating dog food out of the can or whatever.
Yeah.
And the dog first notices it. He's like on his back, and then he looks up at the guy sleeping in the chains, and then like slowly gets around being like, this motherfucker ain't gonna find out that this food's happening. And I was like sitting there like, that is acting.
Yeah,
that
when
is
he
dog acting.
when the dog when he like rolls over and is like, huh, like that. Is that what you're talking about?
No, like he looked back. He saw him eating the food, and then he looked because he was right next to Captain Gyro.
Right.
He looked over at Captain Gyro and he was sleeping, and he saw that. And he like slowly turned over and started scooting over to Max.
Yeah,
this motherfucker ain't getting shit.
Dude,
I'm getting the goddamn food.
That was awesome.
It was great.
I agree. Yeah, I was like, damn, how did they train that dog to do that? That's fucking awesome.
They just did.
Yeah,
they just shot it right.
That dog rules.
Yeah,
he took a lot of classes.
He was a natural.
He learns how to be in the moment. Yes, and
Yeah, dude, he was a natural though. I mean, that does make that is a feel good thing because you knew the dog was gonna die in the movie.
Yeah.
As soon as you saw it, and I was like, oh man, why? He's such a good boy. Why you gotta kill the dog? So to hear that he got to, that's crazy. I can't believe that he was about to be put down and then
that day. Apparently, I mean,
dude,
that could be
fucking so cool.
That could be one of those stories that gets escalated. It
sure,
could be
right,
scheduled for it, but like,
right. So they were like, hey,
but it was a euthanized shelter, and that's where they found him. So
wow,
they would have been like, hey, instead of putting him down now, let's put him down in the movie.
Right. Yeah,
this is Australia. There's no rules. This is a penal colony.
Right. Yeah,
we can shoot dogs if we want. No, there was. I think it was Wes or it was somebody in the movie that didn't want to sign on because he was afraid they were. Because there's the part where they kill the rabbits or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like, I'm not going to do it with the rabbits. And Miller was like, we're not going to kill rabbits.
Right.
It's going to be shot in a way that they're not going to get hurt. Everything's going to be fine. And he was not lying. So.
Yeah, right.
But Miller was like, but fuck rabbits. They're a nuisance. They're a vermin. And they tear up all of Australia. He hates rabbits.
Wow.
So I was like...
he's like, well, I was going to until fucking Wes wouldn't fucking... What's his name? Vernon Wells. I think
Vernon Wells.
Yeah.
But I was like, man, my wife should have watched this because she hates rabbits. So.
She hates rabbits too.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hates them. She's terrified of them.
So what about the Ayatollah of rock and roll, the Lord Humongous or whatever that?
We got to talk about the Humongous, dude.
Yeah. That dude, like, as soon as I saw him, that's when I mean it was like Rick and Morty, dude. Like, that's totally Buckethead, dude.
That is a 100% Buckethead. Yeah.
I mean, it was that seemed to be a popular thing in the late 70s and early 80s to just throw a hockey mask on someone and make their head seem grotesque behind it. And then boom, there's your bad guy.
Well, this was before. This was before Jason had
even appeared. Right. Yeah. But yeah,
maybe that inspired Jason.
I think 81 might have been when the second Friday the 13th came out. I'm not certain, but Jason didn't get his hockey mask until part 3. So this is definitely
right. And you know what? It looks gross and weird and badass. And then his body's like muscular and perfect, and then he's just got this weird, and the little wispy hair that they put on him just to like make it's like obviously shave that, but I guess
it's the less is more thing, man. It just works.
There's like that big vein in the back of his head or whatever.
Right.
And like apparently
something
that
happened to this guy.
Apparently that was like a prosthetic that was built into the mask or whatever. That was it was supposed to like pulse.
Yeah,
but like it broke. So like it just
it did kind of move a little bit.
Yeah, it did pulse. I saw the part where it pulsated.
Yeah, I think it broke on like the second day, so like it wasn't always moving.
Right.
It didn't need it.
Maybe less shots of it than they planned on.
Was he supposed to be like affected by radiation or something?
That's what I was assuming.
There's
like he was affected by the nuclear explosion.
Well,
or something.
Originally he was supposed to be Max's partner from the first movie who died, but like didn't die, and like that's why all of the so Max, they touch on it a little bit in the opening thing where he was like the police force after the apocalypse.
Yeah,
he was part of that police force, but then he leaves it at the end of that movie because he's like, fuck this.
Yeah, and
but that's why. So like now the police force is nothing, and like all of these guys have either been raided, like all of their equipment is like raided from police, or they're all ex MFPs, which was the police force thing. So that was like one idea, and it never really came to fruition, or they changed it before it started, and it's just humongous. The humongous.
Well, yeah.
But that actor is he's from Sweden. And he was Mr. Sweden at the time, or
really
gotten it. Yeah, that's why he's a.
Oh wow,
he certainly looked like it.
Yeah, right.
It's intentionally sculpted.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, his costume is so awesome.
Yeah. Right.
And so but you just looking at him, you're like. At first, you're like, "This is silly looking," and then you're like, "No, it isn't." Like that's what this guy needs to wear.
Right? Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I mean, he looked like the dungeon master of the S&M dungeon.
Right.
And that's what I mean, it's hilarious though. I just love the name. It's just to me, it's the best name for a bad guy I've ever heard in my life. Especially the way
humongous,
that they spell it too. Like, just take the O out. And that's it, the humongous.
It looks like human. It looks like human fungus.
Yeah, human ungus, or whatever. But fucking like before you even see him or know that there is like some leader of anything, all you hear is just you hear them off camera in the distance as he's like perched up the thing and they're doing their lookout shit. You just hear, "For the great Lord Humongous." Hail Humongous. It's like, what? What the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Like, this is some weird shit.
That's why I always call him Lord Humongous.
They do say it, but then it's credited as the Humongous, which is so much better. It's so just like, no, like, hey, who are you? What do you mean, who am I? I'm the Humongous. Like,
humongous.
Did you not know?
It's just humongous. The
humongous. Yeah.
I like to think that he became the humongous because he was setting up his email and humongous was already taken, so he had to be the humongous.
Or like underscore humongous.
Yeah, the underscore humongous.
Yeah, it does kind of imply that there is another humongous out there in the wasteland, and he has to signify himself by.
Yeah, no, I'm the humongous.
Yeah, I'm the humongous. You're talking about humongous. He's
I'm not
over
that humongous. I'm the humongous.
Dude, come on, we're on the west side. He's on the east side. Okay, dude.
Well, another thing too is, I was thinking, it was like, the wasteland too. I like the idea of the fact that that there's something obviously beyond this, because to me it's easy for you to be like, this is the world now, desert, and and the fact that they're just calling it the wasteland to me was exciting to be like, ooh, what's beyond the wasteland? Like, they're going to that top paradise or whatever, and
right.
I don't know, it made me interested to see what else there is in this post-apocalyptic world.
There is a fan theory.
Oh, okay. Boy.
Here we know how much Chase loves fan theory.
And this kind of, I don't know, this may or may not improve something for Bryce, or he may just like shit all over it.
Okay.
The fan theory
I'm going to be as open.
The fan theory is
to it as
that
possible.
This takes place at the same time as Waterworld. And that Waterworld is on the other side of the world. And this, that's why there's always...
I was gonna say, that's actually was one of my notes as well.
And it has a very similar aesthetic, but it's,
This is how you'd make a movie about needing gasoline and make it, acceptable. Not... Remember, because we got into this big debate.
Yeah, because they had crude gas.
Yeah, and the whole time I was watching, I was like, "This is how you do it. You just leave out that whole process of it and just fucking or just like I said, just put a line in there. Just say something
about how
doesn't have to be. Yeah, they did this perfectly. You know what I mean? Where I wasn't even fucking like worried about it. I was just accepting it.
Well, I think,
like, okay, this is the plot.
I think in this world of Snyder cuts and stuff that they should...
Waterworld is the Snyder cut of Mad Max. They should
re-edit, they should get the director of Waterworld to put it all back together, put out his 4.5 hour version to explain that, and then connect it with Mad Max.
Yeah,
and then we all wait for Mel Gibson to take his shirt off, and he's actually got scaly reptile skin, so that way he can
he can live in the desert.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Or
But yeah, so that's the fan theory, is that these are simultaneously happening. So the other side of the world is all covered in water, and they can't get gas either.
Yeah.
Which means like they're looking for this while the others are looking for that.
Well, you know, and also no joke, I really was just kind of like, oh man, this makes Waterworld seem so much worse even because it's just a ripoff of this movie.
Well, yeah, and you could tell that Waterworld is 100% aesthetically and thematically inspired by this.
Right. It's just
I mean,
it's Mad Max on water.
I mean, yeah, the
That's
smokers
That was
in
probably
that.
the pitch.
What?
That was probably the pitch.
It probably was.
Mad,
Yeah.
Mad Max.
Mad Max
Right.
on water.
Yeah.
Correct.
And then instead of Mel Gibson, you get
Kevin
Kevin
Costner?
Costner.
But we give him guilt.
Him?
We give
Yeah.
him guilt.
Yeah.
Him?
Yeah, him? Really? Okay.
Which I shit all over him,
which-
but God, Yellowstone is so good.
But speaking
So,
of
anyway.
speaking of that bit, him, R.I.P. to Jessica Walter from Arrested Development and Archer. Sad. This
And many other
By the
things.
time this came out, it happened like,
Like
2
2
months
months
ago.
ago.
But
Yeah.
you know, whatever. R.I.P. to her. But yeah. Anyway, totally killed the vibe. It's
there.
all good.
Yeah.
So
all good.
keep going down your list there. What else you
Trudging
got?
along. You know, I think we've hit about everything here.
I mean, other than really breaking down that action sequence.
Yeah, I mean, we can just go ahead and do that. We talked about the assless pants.
You might if I interject something while you're looking through your list there.
Yeah,
real quick, too?
absolutely.
Yeah,
I absolutely love how even in the breakdown of society, the Earth still can't get a fucking break. We're still consuming mass amounts of fucking oil and gasoline. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, even in post-apocalypse, what the fuck is wrong with this?
well, they did not predict. The makers of this movie predict. Renewable energy.
Well, but
resources
how are
and
you?
stuff.
Yeah, but how are you going to keep that running if there's nobody to run it? I mean,
yeah, that's
you know,
true.
You got to have power, and power comes from all sorts of things.
Yeah,
but, like,
right.
You got to have somebody
totally.
running that grid. Sometimes it gets too cold,
Yeah,
as we know.
yeah, totally. I mean, it's but you're right, Stark. I think, and that kind of helps the plot though, because you're right. It's like even after a nuclear fucking apocalypse and everything, people are still going to be doing everything they can to stay as close to the civilization they remember as possible.
Well, and especially in a
and it makes things seem that much more dire.
and especially in a climate or a terrain like Australia, which is made to kill you.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
it is not
yeah.
meant to be inhabited
Not supposed to be
by
inhabited.
people. So you need,
yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah,
but so yeah, let's talk about that action sequence. I think it's like 16, 17 minute,
yeah.
just fucking
Which I knew that was coming.
yeah. I mean it builds up to it.
Yeah,
the whole
big
movie
time.
where there's a lot of great shit that's going on. But
Yeah.
then, man, that fucking scene is so badass.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome. Did you know that Wes was gonna pop back up on the hood there?
Yeah, I mean, I've seen it.
Oh, right,
No,
but
yeah,
when you
the-
first saw it,
I don't remember. I was like 13 or
you
14.
were there?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It
What
was
about-
too much of a. It was too much of like a. I feel like he didn't die in a dramatic enough way, so he
Yeah.
had to come back. Like
Well,
it was just
Sure,
He was
yeah.
like, "Oh, I'm awesome."
That
Yeah,
that
I was-
and the
yeah.
kid is like going out to reach for those bullets. Like, of
Well,
course
I
it's
knew
gonna
something
happen.
was going to happen, but I thought he was going to like fly off the hood or something
Yeah.
like that. I didn't expect Wes to be like, "I've been riding this
Gotcha!
grill this whole time, bitch." Because he had to have been, right?
Yeah.
It's like you think he got run over, but really he was strong enough to fucking just be like, clink. I'm gonna wait
But
for
yet
my
his
fucking
face
moment.
looked like he was run over. It looked like he was
Yeah.
run.
But speaking of that, though, man, Humongous got the best death I've ever
Oh,
seen,
fuck.
dude.
Just fucking head on.
Just boom.
Like, what was his? What was
he
his
didn't
goal?
even try to get out of the
Yeah, like,
way.
what was his goal? Like, was that it? It was just like, well, this is fucking happening.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, he fucking hit the nos too.
Yeah.
He's like, if I can't have it, no one can.
Right. Well, he originally hit the nos when when Gibson was going one way, so he was
Yeah,
doing it
yeah,
to catch
to
up.
catch
but then
up.
Gibson turned around, which I was like, "What are you doing?
But
you're supposed to go to
What is
what's
this,
turning
Footloose?
around gonna do? Yeah, right, right, yeah."
This is chicken with some
This is
consequences.
yeah, right, exactly. This is some real
Yeah, but
chicken right
he
here.
looks like the tiniest car known to
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I
You
know.
don't play chicken with a fucking 18-wheeler
Dude,
like that.
He fucking
Because the 18-wheeler can't pull over.
right, yeah, right. But I guess he was just going so fast, or whatever. But And obviously, I don't think he predicted the 18-wheeler to turn around.
Yeah.
And then by
But
that time, he
saw
was
it
just
coming from
fucked.
a pretty far
Yeah, I mean,
fucking way.
still
I
had
mean,
plenty of time to at least, just do one of these.
Well,
and
I think he was going so fast
Turn
that
his
even
wheel.
if he did, like, he was going to crash
spin out anyway.
Yeah.
But
and then and
They
the
went out in
terrain is
blaze
all
of glory.
crazy.
yeah,
But like, this is one of those things that it doesn't even necessarily occur to you as much because of how things are shot now. But like, that was done on a real road. This is
Yeah,
all real.
right,
There's
I
no
know.
CG.
Right.
Yeah.
There was no models. It was
Right.
it was just like
they
everywhere
really
shoot.
plowed a fucking Mack truck
Yeah.
through a fucking dune buggy.
Yeah, I mean,
They
and
really killed that guy.
they really killed Humongous.
There was a real accident that's in the movie.
I'm surprised there weren't more. There's got to be a bunch
I'm sure
of
there's a
stories
lot,
of-
but so like sort of unwritten code or whatever of the stunt things is if you get hurt doing a stunt, that's the stunt that makes the cut. you
Yeah.
know? And but one of the like more badass things, it's so there's what I got to read down here. The motorcycle riding guy, he hits a car, flies off the bike, it smashes his legs against the car, and then cartwheels through the air right towards the camera.
Yeah.
And like he wasn't supposed to miss the car, like he was supposed to just land. And it fucking,
Oh, wow.
he broke his legs really, really badly and survived. He did survive.
Oh.
But if you look like frame by frame, you can see
His
like,
leg
where
is
his
all
legs,
fucked up?
like go the wrong way.
No.
Yeah. And it's not a dummy; it's a real dude.
Oh, I got to rewatch
yeah,
that.
it's
oh
like
my
fucking
gosh.
brutal.
Right.
Yeah, and like so, and just the fact that this is all filmed on like cameras.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Film fucking cameras, which are
Film.
huge.
Right.
And they're getting like intense, like real close up stuff.
Yeah.
They had the so like the cameramen were all in these cars. Like all of those cars have cameras on them.
Uh-huh.
And they're all disguised, and all the cameramen are wearing costumes, including Miller, who was the director.
Yeah.
The cinematographer would like had everybody on a radio being like, "Turn your camera on, turn your
Mm-hmm.
And when Miller was the operator for his car, he messed up and he turned the camera on, and then when action was called, he turned the camera off. And when cut was called, so the cinematographer
Oh,
was
no.
like, he was like, "Fuck you,
Yeah.
Like, you're out."
Yeah.
Yeah,
He accidentally
that-
turned on the
the nos.
no the bomb booby trap.
Oh yeah.
Blew his car up. No, yeah, that's crazy though. I didn't even think about that. Like I didn't even think about
Yeah, you don't.
there had to have been a bunch of fucking accidents. I mean, you're right though. They got really like up close shots of these fucking awesome wrecks and shit.
I'm gonna pull up this cinematographer's name, but he actually had a Dean Semler. He had a little like platform built outside of Mel Gibson's door to get those like shots because it was all moving. It was no trailer stuff,
Right.
And they had a little like steel rig that he could just like stand on with the camera, and they didn't like test it right.
Yeah.
Before with like all the weight on it, like they just like, hey, go stand on that. All right, oh yeah, that'll work. And so like going high speeds with the camera and everything like that,
no.
it kept like bouncing and hitting the ground and just shooting out sparks. And they said that Simler's reaction was just like, oh, that's interesting. And we got to keep going. We're on a time
that's
crunch.
awesome. Yeah.
We don't have money to.
Yeah. You gotta make it happen. Yeah.
Also, that one motherfucker that was like, the one that was like half his body was inside of a burlap sack.
Yeah.
But I guess the way he felt, man, that one I was like, oh, whenever he rolled, like they pulled him and he got caught between two cars.
Oh man.
And his head was rolled over. I don't know, it was the craziest one out of all of them. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This movie does
a lot of brutal deaths.
Yeah,
man.
this movie does. You can't even see it because it's done so well. But they do trauma. I don't know if you know what trauma films are. It's like a budget
No.
thing. Anyway, Toxic Avenger. I think you've probably heard of.
I've heard of that.
Yeah,
They're really shitty.
Yeah, they're really shitty. Like they're not
Canon
even.
films?
Yeah, no.
But worse than that.
Yeah, there's
no
a lot
redemptive quality.
There's a lot of people that like them, but like I've tried and I was like, this aren't really very good.
It's not even funny bad. It's
No, it's just bad.
Oh,
And
okay.
it takes a certain kind of person to enjoy it. But
okay.
it's just not. It's not for me.
Gotcha.
And, but they do the same thing that is done in this movie, where they use, as George Miller calls them, watermelon wigs, which is just a wig on a watermelon, and that's a head that gets exploded. So like all those heads that go under it, it's just like you can shoot it from behind with watermelon on it. It looks like looks like a dead person.
Right, yeah.
You know? Or a cantaloupe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, lots of brutal deaths, dude. But yeah, Humongous's death was one of my favorite deaths of a bad guy ever.
Yeah.
Just because it fits though, because live by the sword, die by the sword kind of thing. Like, what other way would Humongous go out other than being obliterated in a fucking epic accident, or car crash?
What I loved about it too is he didn't do one of those classic.
Yeah,
it was just he was getting killed. Like,
he just died.
Yeah, there was no. Yeah, it just happened so fast though. Yeah. You're right though, man, and I kind of do like that too, man, because I wouldn't have faulted them for taking a little bit longer, maybe adding that extra shot you're talking about there, Stark, of just to kind of build the epicness of it. I would have been mad about it, but
it fucks up the pacing.
It would have totally cheapened the pacing. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It would have cheapened it. Big time. Would have cheapened it. But yeah, I didn't even think about that. You're right, man. They did do a really good job of just letting it happen.
Yeah.
And then you just see everything in like literally into little fucking pieces, dude. Like there's not one, like there's not at least a shell of the buggy or anything. It's just everything is fucking blown up to smithereens.
There's no dramatic deaths. That's the thing that's awesome.
Yeah.
They just die.
Yeah,
even
right.
Whenever the kid throws the boomerang and somehow fucking kills the Gimp dude, which to me was like insane. How did that even happen? I don't know. But even then, it wasn't like they were like, whoa, and then like go over. It just hit him and he was just dead.
Done.
Yeah. Well,
hits
and
the ground.
The way that I guess they're characters that we care about or whatever. But the guy in the burlap and the warrior woman that had I guess they were a couple or something. They seemed to care about each other. I don't know. It seemed to.
I thought the warrior girl was like kind of had the hots for Max. It felt like
she did, but Miller says that she didn't. Also, that role was actually written for a man. And they just changed it when they were like, I like the way she looks.
Yeah,
so like we're gonna cast her. And they put a scar on her face, and like they didn't change any lines or anything. Yeah. It's another one of those like in the future the gender roles is much different. Like there's not as it's not as a defined thing. There's very interchangeable.
Yeah.
And also because like death doesn't everybody dies.
Right.
Nobody makes it to old age really.
Yeah, right.
So,
right.
But her death along with the guy in the burlap sack, like it wasn't melodramized or anything.
Yeah.
It was just like, whoa, they're fucking dying.
Right. Well, I mean, it was cool too because the burlap sack dude was like sitting there on fire for like a minute or so, and
he's like,
he couldn't feel it. He's like, I'm fine. And it's like, is he gonna die or not? Like, what's going on?
Like, just because you can't feel your skin burning off, you are dying.
Yeah, right. And then finally, he does
that bag
die.
Of water, he was like, oh, I got this bag of water. It took him so long to get to it.
Right.
Like, why didn't you pull that out whenever it was a tiny fire? Your whole body's engulfed now.
I don't think he noticed it yet.
Yeah, right. Well, and speaking of that, when the fucking dog attacked him and started biting his legs, and he was just like, oh, come on. Like, he didn't even, he was like, oh, yeah, try. You can try, buddy.
Yeah, that's right.
Like,
that's right.
He just had such a look on his face like, oh, fuck off. Like, ain't getting me.
Love, like, instead of like making the guy a wheelchair or something, they decided to put him on, I guess, that thing that like lifts motors out of cars.
Yeah, it's like in a crane. It was fucking cool, man. But they could have, because in this world, why wouldn't they motorize the fuck out of a wheelchair and he have his own like nos? You know what I'm saying? Fucking
like
fucking take off. It was like fucking perfect
because you can't like there wouldn't.
That would have been awesome.
There's not a lot of control on a wheelchair like that.
No, I mean I get that.
But what if you were like a car centaur?
But it was just a car centaur of all the
motar.
This would be the world to have something like that in, right?
Yeah.
They would have found a way to make it to where he was able to control it. Like that would. I mean, I think they missed an opportunity there. I really do think that would have been fucking legit awesome. Like, why not soup up a wheelchair?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like a badass character, exactly.
Well, you got to leave room for the sequels,
right? You gotta, maybe it's in Beyond Thunderdome.
Yet, right?
Yeah, so I know.
They or Fury Road, but they. So Miller wrote because they have the helicopter, and he wrote the helicopter into the script only because he did not want the studio or anybody to cut the budget to where he couldn't get his overhead shots.
Yeah.
So he knew that he needed a helicopter
Right.
for a bunch of these shots.
Yeah,
So he was
yeah.
like, well, if I write a fucking helicopter into the movie,
Nice.
I can just use that helicopter.
Right. That was great.
Including
Smart.
shots from that helicopter.
That might be my only complaint about the movie is how the fuck did not only Gyro Captain survived that fucking plummet, but
Where he goes,
but the vehicle, he was just like, the next thing you see of him was just he's just driving
Driving it
in
up.
it. And it's like, what?
It's just
There's no way. There's no fucking
well, especially in the world where like everything fucking blows up.
way. Yeah, dude,
Like
exactly.
everything blows up and it just goes
Right.
conk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and then the next thing you see, he's just driving it as if it's perfectly fucking fine. It doesn't fly anymore, but I can still fucking operate this bitch. Like,
Was
okay.
Captain Gyro, bro.
Yeah.
You know, you don't never underestimate.
I know. He was the
leader.
He was the new leader of the fucking the Great North Tribe, as they called it.
Yeah. Before the what you call it, the feral kid.
The
took
before-
over.
Before, yeah, Mr. Farrell took over. Will Ferrell. Anyway.
Is that who that
Will
was?
Ferrell.
Yeah, it was
Origins.
Will
Yeah, there you go.
William Ferrell kid. Speaking of Fury Road, have you all seen that one?
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Is it-
it's fucking
It's
incredible.
fucking amazing.
It is?
Yeah.
Okay, because
Yes.
my dad says that it's absolute trash.
I don't understand how you could think that.
Yeah,
because Mad Max apparently is like his character is just a useless piece of shit or something in it.
Yeah, a little bit.
Well, then
But
wouldn't that
like at the
suck?
same time,
he's still a badass.
He does. His character is not any more important than this Mad Max.
Oh, okay. Well, I haven't seen it. I mean, and
Yeah.
I was also not talking about it, but I was just
Yeah.
wondering because
We'll
I've,
get
I've
to it. We'll
heard,
cover it for
I've
sure.
heard that it's great, and I've heard that it's trash.
No,
And
it is.
so-
It is absolutely not trash at all. It's
I have
all.
an aversion to any
Alright.
kind of movie that involves too much driving, much less an entire movie about driving. It's the only reason why I've never seen any of the Fast and Furious movies because I'm just
Right.
like, oh, cars. Oh,
Yeah,
ooh.
right.
But
right.
but like that film, I had so much aversion to seeing it because of that. And when I saw it, I was like mistaken. I
And
was
it-
so sorry for ever having
Yeah,
that thought.
and
I
it is
loved it
all
so
driving.
much.
It's basically the last 16 minutes of this movie for 2 hours.
Oh
Yeah.
man,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
so
know
good.
if I want to see
It's
that.
Balls out crazy badass.
Balls out,
Like, it's just
crazy
fucking-
badass.
I mean, like,
Hey, trust me, Bryce. Coming from somebody that hates car movies,
yeah.
I loved it. I
All
loved
right.
yeah, it's so good.
Well,
It's
I,
so.
I don't know.
George Miller directed it. He wrote
Oh,
it.
wow,
It's
he came back.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
okay.
done all of them. He's
And
done
it's
all
a
4.
continuation of Mad Max,
Yes,
right?
yeah. Tom Hardy plays,
But
Mad Max.
instead of like being like he's old now, they just recast
just-
him as young.
Yeah, it's just another of his stories. Yeah,
Right. Wow. So like kind of like James Bond or something.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know the exact timeline. I mean, there's like also like comic books and motion comic video movies.
Sure.
and
Yeah.
stuff that there's
Is-
just other stories
Is
of Mad
Beyond
Max. but-
Thunderdome good?
Yeah, it's good. This one is by far the best.
Okay.
If that being said, I do really think Fury Road is better, but also not better. I don't know. Like it's hard
like
to
that now.
it's hard to compare because of like all the things
Shots
that are
fired.
going on in this one that make it so good. But like I feel like Fury Road. I don't know. Fury Road is really fucking good. And,
to me, like Fury Road is like you can imagine like George Miller's imagination probably for this film
yeah,
was Fury Road, but he didn't have the means to make that movie, so he made this one, which I think worked well for it because that's why this one to me is a little bit better because of the fact that he worked within the realm of what he had. And
Yeah.
it's what made it work so well.
well, and the reason he did this one was because he was so mad about how Mad Max 1 came out because Mad Max 1 was such a low budget. So
Yeah.
rolling over
He
it.
threw it. Yeah, you should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You got plenty of training from dealing with me.
yeah,
Now he's
exactly.
over here trying to get you.
So Mad Max 1, he was so constrained by the budget that he was like, I got to do it better.
Hmm.
And he did this. And then, he got a bigger budget even with Thunderdome. And then obviously with Fury Road, it's just insane. But it's not, he doesn't throw away any of the money. You see it all. It's all
Yeah.
on screen.
Yeah. Wow.
It's so beautiful. And, but this one feels, just a little more rough, and I think that makes it better in a way. But the things like the sped up
Yeah.
frame
Yeah.
rate and stuff like that kind of stuff is not in the other one.
Sure.
So like
right.
it's much cleaner,
yeah.
much smoother, and it's real badass.
And it's not as Australian. That's the thing. This
Yeah.
is super Australian, and that's again the alien the alien of the film that makes it so great. Where the Fury Road is straight up not. Well, I mean, it's Australian, but to a smaller extent. It's not all Australian.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
well, Charlize Theron's South African, so
that's
that.
not Australian. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
And Tom Hardy's from
England.
Town, yeah.
Yeah. So,
but and like Tom Hardy, like it's not a bad casting on any part or whatever.
It makes sense.
Like you see it on paper, you're like, yeah, that works.
Yeah, right.
But then you watch this movie and you see Mel Gibson as Mad Max. You're like,
it's
no,
not
Mad
the same.
Max.
Yeah,
that's
not the same.
Mad Max, dude.
Not the same. I saw Tom Hardy as
outrageous. Really?
Well, I fucked up because I pressed it too soon, but that's what I said when I saw Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy's
like
more
Mad Max.
Constrained Charles.
Perhaps. What'd you say?
Not Mad Max. He's constrained Charles.
Constrained Charles.
Wow.
That's awesome.
Excellent.
All right. He's peeved Pete.
On that note, let's wrap it up. Peeved Pete.
Oh, that's the spin-off.
Chase, you got to come up with one.
Yeah, now you got to come up with one.
Okay. He's Sassy Steve.
Oh, sassy. We're going in a different direction there. Yeah,
Mad Max and Sassy Steve.
Oh wow. Yeah, I think we got something here.
Love that.
All right. So
wait, I do. Never mind.
No, go ahead. Say it.
No, we've talked. Well, I was just gonna say I got a new drop for this movie. Speaking of the dog food earlier, when he was eating dog food, I got a new drop for it. It's
man, you got to eat the
dog food. Stark, you couldn't hear it, but you'll hear it later.
Oh, but I'll pretend like I did.
Yeah. Yes.
Man, the best drop I've heard yet.
We are laughing.
Not that good.
Okay.
So,
he said not that good.
Let's get into the numbers. All right.
Yeah.
Now, in 2015, Rolling Stones rated this film the best action movie of all time.
Whoa.
So it's still, people
in 2015.
Yeah, in 2015. And
wow.
I mean, it's on all sorts of lists as best action movie, greatest movie, all that kind of stuff. Huge hit in Australia. So the budget, I mean, what would you think the budget is? This had the largest budget for an Australian movie at the time.
For real?
Yeah.
Oh, then I would say maybe $2 million.
Okay. You're close. It's $3 million.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
So
you didn't give me a guess, Chase.
Well, I figured you would.
Host over here.
No, that was just the budget. That's not the one we normally guess. I just wanted to see where Bryce's mind was. So, because Bryce is like with the TikTok guy. How much does a house cost? And they ask a little kid, $150. That's what I feel like.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's a lot of money. Like $600 for this movie.
Or fucking Raymond. What do you get? How much do you have left when you spend $1 or you spend 50 cents out of $1? 70 cents.
No, he just says 70.
70.
Yeah, just 70.
Yeah.
All right.
That's me.
So the gross.
I'm the Rain Man.
I don't have the Australia numbers. Okay, but that will go into the worldwide. So what is the opening weekend numbers for this film?
Stark, I'll let you do the honors.
Oh, hey, thank you, Bryce.
Of course.
That's very nice of you to remember your guests and ask them their guesses on things.
Come on, Chaz.
So I'm going to go ahead and say opening weekend. Let's go with $1.5 million.
Okay.
Wait, this was released in America at the same time?
Yes. I have
give me those parameters again.
I have the. Okay, so let me pull it up here.
Come on, Chaz.
The American release. Okay.
Okay.
I don't know why my numbers don't look right.
Okay.
When I pasted them in here, they got messed up.
This is outrageous.
All right, so I just have the opening weekend for U.S. and Canada.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to change my guess.
Yeah, just that. Okay.
I'm going to go with $10 million.
Okay.
For just the U.S. and Canada?
Just the U.S. and Canada. It opened in 82 here.
10 million, Stark?
So a year after it came out.
I don't know, man. I think this had to have been a slow burn. I think it had to have been a slow burner. I'm going to say 1.5 million.
You took my original guess.
You chose poorly.
2.5 million.
Oh, come on. So close.
Yeah, 2.5 million.
That's close enough. You could have given me a chose wisely. At least I didn't know overshoot. Stark, you lose.
Nope.
All right.
All right.
Man, you are.
What was the U.S. and Canadian
Total?
Total. The gross for
Stark?
our North American domestic.
Okay.
Up to now,
I mean,
Well, you know.
yeah, maybe give or take. I can't tell you that exactly. I just know what it says. It just says
I'm gonna
gross.
go with 15 mil.
15? That's it? Man, I'm going higher than that, Stark. I'm going to go, I'm going to say it made at least 45 million.
He chose
God damn.
poorly.
23.6 million.
Damn, Stark, you were, man, all right, I overshot it this time.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, that's right.
So it was a little bit of, oh yeah, I even said it was like kind of a cult classic too. What the fuck am I thinking?
So 23 in America. I'm trying to find the Australian numbers.
Okay.
Outside the U.S. Okay,
Come on, Chaz.
here's the worldwide total.
Okay.
You ready? Who's got it?
Stark, do the honors
All right.
again?
Worldwide total, I'm going to go with 45 mil.
Oh, come on, man. That's what I'm going. I'm going to go with 45 and million and one.
Oh, Bryce.
Yes.
God damn.
Nice.
That was for Stark because you
Oh.
overshot it with 36 million. Stark got it because you tried to fuck him.
That was good. You
36
got me
million.
like how Mad Max got me. You got me. You pulled a Mad Max on me there.
I
did
did,
not
I
expect that.
Love that.
So,
Oh man, you got to eat the
Dog food.
yeah, so this movie, great stuff. So let's get some ratings. Go around.
Okay, Stark, do the honors, my man.
Oh shit. Okay. Okay, out of 10, shit, I gotta think of something good real quick.
Oh
out
my
of
goodness.
This is outrageous.
out of
Really is.
out of 10 rotten teeth in Captain Gyro's mouth,
Okay.
I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna give this one straight up, not gonna lie to you, I 100% enjoyed the entirety of it. 10. I'm gonna give it a 10.
Wow.
Big skill.
Wow. That okay.
There you go.
Man, you starting it off hot.
No.
All right.
Stark rates like I do, where it's just like, I'm just
Yeah,
rate
sure,
this movie.
sure.
I don't care what it compares to other
Well-
ones. It is what I'm rating this movie for.
seeing
what it
is how, this is about a guy's first time seeing it. I, actually try to put some actual fucking thought into my ratings, and I treat my
I
ratings
feel like that is actual thought too.
as a very serious thing. So I don't fucking take these things lightly. I don't hand out 10s lightly, okay?
No, you don't.
So that being said, out of 10 leather pants.
Assless chaps.
Yeah.
There you go.
Out of 10 assless leather pants, out of 10 arrows I pull out of my arm when they get shot right into them, and out of 10 children I save but people think it's actually my gay lover, I will give it I'm gonna give it 9.
All right.
I'm gonna give it 9, dude. It's
It's
a good movie, dude. I really liked it.
Yeah, I did not know what to expect with this one and your rating.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, see, like this is an action movie.
Oh yeah, dude.
Top Gun is garbage.
Yeah, totally,
So
totally. Yeah. Yeah, when Top Gun has more in common with Twilight, which we're gonna get into.
that's gonna be the next episode.
Yeah,
by
that
the
we're
way.
gonna do.
Everybody
That you'll
look
see
up.
next week.
Yeah, I was getting some major fucking Twilight vibes off of that stupid piece of
dude,
shit.
yeah, I was
Oh my God.
thinking about
Volleyball
that. I was
scene?
like, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, what is going on? Definitely made me rethink my. I mean, I still enjoyed Top Gun, but this is an action movie. This is how you do an action movie.
This is it. So, yeah.
Yeah. I guess there's only one thing left to do, and that would be and obviously,
Big skill.
worth it.
Yeah.
Worth it. Go watch it if you haven't seen it. I highly recommend. This is definitely one of those I would put up there on it as a. You got to see this before you die.
Yeah.
It's
And it's on HBO Max right now, so it
yeah,
should be
right. So go.
pretty easy
yeah.
to find.
Very easy. All of them are right.
I typed in Mad Max and I did not see the
Oh.
first one pop up.
Yeah,
Oh,
all
okay.
the other ones are there.
Yeah, Fury Road, this one, and Thunderdome are.
Yeah, but this is
Which
this
I will
is-
be watching Thunderdome after this because I love the what I just watched so much.
Yeah.
You hadn't seen this one before either.
I've seen bits and pieces. I thought I'd never seen it, but I realized I saw bits and pieces. It's the first time I've ever watched it all the way through.
But you've
Yeah.
never seen Thunderdome.
No.
All right.
He saw the part. He paused the boobs.
Yeah.
That's what he did. The classic. Yeah. The classic.
Always.
When you had the VHS, you pause the boobs.
Yeah.
You know,
Hey.
gotta pause the boobs.
Hey man, for me, mine was Soul Food. My mom had a VHS copy of Soul Food, and there was this one scene.
There's boobs in
When
that
they were-
movie.
Yeah, they're having sex up against the wall or something. And I would always play it over and over again.
Over and over again. Yep.
Every time my mom would go to the supermarket, I'm like, "Oh, fine, I'll stay here," and then I pop in Soul Food.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. That was the classic move. Dude, that was the classic move. Mom's like, Bryce, I gotta go to the grocery store, pick up a few things. Really? How long do you
gotta
think
go
it'd
to the
be?
bank.
It'll be like 30 minutes or so. Are you coming? I'll just, I think I'll watch the house while you're gone. It'll be fine.
It's always so funny too because I don't know
Classic
what
move.
at the time I didn't know how to jerk off or anything. So like I would just put my peen on the TV screen. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening, but my peen was all over the
cock.
This is some fucking movie gap
man.
revelation right here, dude. Wow.
Got a terrific penis.
Oh,
man.
dude, putting peen on screen, dude.
Just screen. Oh shit. Oh man.
This is great. This is what I want to do this podcast for right here is fucking revelations like that.
to fucking Soul Food, right?
Oh, it's so
the
good.
best movie for it.
Yeah, dude.
Soul Food.
Little did they know that
man.
little did they know when they were shooting that movie and shooting that scene that there would be some prepubescent boy out there one day putting his dick on the screen. What the fuck? Oh my god! Holy shit! Oh man! Oh, that's so funny, dude. That
I've
is
never
the
told anybody
best.
that, and now everyone
Dude,
knows.
that is on the
thank
internet.
you, Stark. Thank you. Thank you, dude.
Oh
It's
man,
amazing.
that is fucking great.
Oh, dude.
Classic.
All right,
moment.
I gotta feel like we gotta wrap it up with that.
All right.
I don't.
There's
I don't know how to do a reboot recast.
No reboot recast.
Nothing's gonna
Already
be
been
better.
reboot recast.
And nothing's
Yeah.
gonna be better than Stark
Yeah.
putting his penis in the soul food boobs.
Who was the actress and actor in that?
And soul food?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I don't even.
Do you remember
know.
Stark?
I don't.
Well, there's
Oh
one
my
easy way to
God.
find out.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, we're going down. We're going
Oh
down.
man, I gotta look it up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Holy
God.
shit.
Soul Food from 1997.
There you go.
Oh man. Oh, okay. It is Vanessa Williams.
Wow.
Vanessa Williams, Vivica A. Fox, Nia Long. Oh wow.
Oh, that's
I
amazing.
guarantee you, by the way, that my wife would have known that because I'm sure this is one of her favorite movies.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Ugh.
Oh man, Mekhi Phifer might have been.
That's
the guy in that
incredible.
one.
All right. Well,
Ooh.
I get, yeah. After that bombshell.
Where do you go from here?
Yeah. What else is there to say, fellas?
Soul food. Every family needs some.
I'd agree to that.
Oh Lord of mercy. All right. Oh boy. All right. Well, how do you just? You know what?
Made their dreams come true.
Until next time.
Nom in space.